Good. Yeah, appreciating and roasting road at the same time. Good hardware, terrible software. Story of the life of many, many companies. How you all doing? What's up, Zen? What's up, Hamza? I can see you guys on the first comments. Although it looks like Britt got the first one in today. Before we jump into the Q&A and do some labs, just a heads up, we've got a live discount code for attacking AD live. So this is one of our live courses. So if you're interested in how to attack Active Directory and break different services, find misconfigurations, get domain admin, you can check out, there's a code. I mean, it's coming down on the screen, but I'm also going to pin Britt's comment for a second. AD September 10. So this code will only work for like 12 hours, I think. So it's going to switch off tomorrow morning for me, or like depends on your time zone. But like 12 hours from now, it'll disappear. So if you're interested in live AD training, then there's the code there, and I'll just you'll see the banner going around. If you have questions about the training, just ask away. You know, that's what the live streams are here for. So all good. Let's see. What else have we got going on? Let me scroll down, catch up with the chat. I got distracted by my VM not working and the mic not working, but now we're back to normal. So my cat has just decided to wake up. Poppy, where are you? She's gone somewhere, but she was scratching the back of my chair, which means she thinks she's going to get fed, but she's not getting fed for hours yet. So good luck, Poppy. Let's see. Let me come down and see whether we have any questions. I'm just skipping past all of the my mic is muted stuff. All right. I can see one question here from Said. So what's up? 14 and nearly finished the PH. Good job. I wish I was doing this kind of stuff at 14. I was kind of like doing some PHP development and some other stuff around that age. But yeah, you want to go into red teaming. So I would say for red teaming, what you want to do is start to kind of build some skills around. So you've got like a pen testing foundation. Start to understand how things like Windows Defender detects stuff and like what are the common bypasses. Start to think about how you can attack like multiple machines at once. So looking at taking on some of the networked labs, which could be like Hollow or Wreath or one of the like the pro labs on Hack the Box or something like that, and start building up skills where you can get persistence and you can mine targets for information. So I think all of these things are kind of like really key red teaming skills. And then, you know, getting up to date with like the MITRE attack framework and stuff like that. I'd say you don't have to go crazy on certs. Certs are good, but they have diminishing returns. So get one or two and then just work on yourself, build your knowledge, do some cool side projects, and do things like that. No need to go nuts with them. So I think that's my best advice that I can give for that. Let's see, what else have we got? So the AD Live, completely the course in this live. I don't think I fully understand this question. Maybe you're going to have to give me some more context. But I think if you're talking about the AD Live, yeah, it's a number of days, and then all of the labs are hosted. So you just join. You've got an instructor. The main instructor is Heath. And he takes you through attacking Active Directory. So that's, yeah, it's a fully live class. So that's it. What are my thoughts on iPhone 17? I have no idea. It's probably the same as the 16, but with maybe an extra camera, because that's how iPhone works, right? Or maybe they take something away. Does it now? Maybe it no longer has a charging plug, so you have to pay for some wireless like plug. I don't know. I have this one. So my phone is an iPhone, and if I clear my notifications, you go. I've got my cat Elfie on there. But this is a 15, 13. No, my 13 broke. So I think I have a 15. I can't remember. I don't know what the differences are between them. They're like slightly different size, and that's it. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. I'm not a big fan of the Apple ecosystem. I do think the iPhone is an excellent product. I think it's it's very expensive for what it is, but I think that's an excellent product. Not so keen on the rest of Apple's ecosystem, but I could be biased. Back in the day, if you ever remember Apple Music and iTunes and stuff like that, like God, what a horrible experience that was. And I've never really recovered from iTunes, and so there you go. That's why I don't really like the Apple ecosystem. How many years have I been in cybersecurity? I think this is my 11th year, 10th year, maybe 10 or 11, something like that. So about a decade across various different roles, though. Not all of it pen testing. Done a little bit of blue teaming. Done quite a bit of AppSec. All sorts of things. So, but yeah, 10 years. Thanks for making me feel old. Victory Vision. Let's see. I'm gonna answer like 2 or 3 more questions, and then we'll start today's box. Oh, here's an interesting one. So, do I think that VDPs are less secure than normal bug bounty programs, or they just don't want to pay? Feels like there are some crazy secure VDPs. I think that whether something is a VDP or whether it's paying out is not the only factor to consider whether a target is well hardened or not. And I would say that if you're looking for your first bug and you see a new VDP come up, I think you're more likely to find like you'll have a little bit less competition and you're more likely to find like your first bug. But I wouldn't necessarily think that just because it's a VDP that it's weaker. I think that's like, yeah, that's kind of, but I think it could be a good indication. So maybe more often than not, you're more likely to find a bug because you've got a little bit less competition, but it's not always the case. So it's like maybe like 2 out of 3 times it's the case, and then 1 in 3 times it's not the case. But yeah, it's an interesting one to think about. I haven't looked at many VDP targets recently. I only looked at one like a few months ago, and it was pretty well hardened. So kind of like you're saying, but in the past, I've looked at a bunch of VDPs and I've been like I found bugs in them. So yeah, maybe times are changing. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Last question before we jump into a lab. How do you get into cybersecurity and ethical hacking on a low-end laptop? Easy. Just run like Ubuntu. Ubuntu requires no resources at all, and you're all good. I would say that AWS has like a free tier, so you can run stuff on there. Like I run my I run a Linux box on AWS free tier just so that I can easily like mask my IP address for certain attacks when I'm looking at bug bounty, trying not to get clapped by Cloudflare. And so I can just, use a throwaway IP from AWS and just use like a Ubuntu server and route my traffic and stay on the command line. It is harder if you're trying to like spin up like big labs like AD networks and stuff like that. But there are alternatives. Like there's hosted services. You can go onto TryHackMe and and spin up like a Windows lab on that. It doesn't have to be running on your local machine. Or you can make use of like Hack the Box and things like that. But honestly, like especially for web app pen testing, you barely need anything. You need like a web browser and a proxy. And those are the only 2 tools you need. And maybe like a fuzzer like FFUF or GoBuster or something like that. For network pen testing, I get that you need some more tools, but I don't think there's a single tool that is like requires a lot. The only difficulty is if you're running your own labs to attack them. So but so much stuff is hosted these days, and there's so much access to cloud environments. And even if you sign up to like DigitalOcean, I mean, find a content creator that's sponsored by DigitalOcean, and if you sign up using their code, you probably get like a free $100 as a voucher, and then you can run your AD lab on that $100 for ages, as long as you keep it up and pull it down, smartly, if that makes sense. So I think that's a pretty good way to do it. All right, let's jump into today's box, and we're just gonna do like a chill box today. It's been a busy day. We've got lots to do. So today's box is going to be a relaxing one, I think. Let me see. Jump into my VPN, and then that looks like we're good. So I need to actually start the machine. Hold on. How do I do this again? It's been so long. There we go. All right. The machine is starting. While it starts, let's have a look. Ooh, I presume you mean AI rather than IA, intelligence artificial. Useful for pen testing. I think it's useful for almost everything. AI is a great assistant for many, many things. And so I think it's also useful for pen testing. I think it's good for troubleshooting. If you see an error message that you don't understand, or if you want to understand what technology might have like popped a generic error message and you're like, oh, what does this error message come from? It's great for that. It's good for troubleshooting. It's good for creating payload variations. There's like a lot you can do with AI to speed up your workflow, for sure, I think. Do some of the Portsmouth collabs, the business logic ones, maybe next week. We don't quite have tons of time today, but I'll add this. I'll try and remember. Maybe remind me, and then I'll try and clock some of those. All right, looks like this box is up. So let's see. Okay, so that's up, and then let's do mmap -a output normal scan.initial. Let's see what nmap comes back with. And whilst we're doing that, let's see. I think this is a web box. So let's just bring up our proxy and see what we can come up with. You're right there, Poppy. The cat is like, Poppy. She's chilling. I don't know why she's so hungry today. I think it's getting colder, so I might need to give her like a little bit of extra food to stay warm. Her coat's definitely gotten thicker over the last month, for sure. And Elfie spends all her time sleeping in the bed under the duvet, so that's a thing. Let's open up the browser and let's see what we can have. Oh, is it Prince next week? Yeah, actually, I think Prince is streaming next week with a big announcement as well. So you got some fun stuff to look forward to, for sure. All right, so we get this Apache to Ubuntu default page. That's not super useful, but at least we know there's a web server there. And looks like in terms of this, only port 80 and 22. We didn't scan all ports, but this I think means that we can do FFUF -u like this, and then word list user share word list. Where are my word lists? Word lists. Sec lists. Let's see. Let's go to, we're doing discovery, and then web content, and then let's go with come on, give me it back. It's not giving me my shell back. And it just closed what I was writing. Maybe I can copy and paste. Here we go. Web content, big.txt. Let me drop this banner for now so you guys can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's going to get cut off. And also my name is in the way. So let me. There we go. You guys can see what I'm doing now. So we're all good. Very professional. So ffuf-u http target /fuzz word list user share seclist discovery web content big. So let's go with this. And since it's Apache, we could probably append like .php, but for now, I think let's just see what we find and yeah, see whether there's anything good here. All right, while that's running, let me see what other questions we've got happening in the chat. Oh, what is the most effective tool? I can give you like the typical, sassy answer, which is like your brain. I think like, nothing replaces what's up here, right? For me, I just think proxies are good. Like I do a lot of manual testing. I'm not into nuclei or like scanning at scale and stuff like this or automation. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. Some people are very successful using a lot of automation, using a lot of tools like scanning tools and things like that. It's not for me. I don't find it very interesting. So I would say there's a lot of good tools, but honestly, a good proxy. Get comfortable with Kaido or Burp Suite, and then you're all good. All right, so we've got this /content directory. So let's have a look in here. Okay. Yeah, it's this one. I remember this box. Okay, so we've got Sweet Rice. So this is a CMS. But then we've got powered by basiccms.org as well. So since we have /content, let's also just run this again against /content here. So we're good to go. Let's see, this is an external link. Let's have a quick look at the page source. And we've got /content/js, sweetrice.js. Probably not that exciting in here. What else have we got? Any other links to anything? Nothing too exciting. So this is pretty basic page. Is there like a /login? Login.php. Admin.php. I assume we're on index.php. Yeah, that's the page we're on already. Let's see what. Okay, so we've got /as, /attachment, /images, inc, and JS. So let's look at /as. Okay, so we've got a login page. That's useful. That's a good place to be. And then attachments. Can't find this. We probably, yeah, looks like there's nothing in this directory. Images, we probably can't find much in here, but just in case. Oh, there's like a capture.php. Oh, 53853. Very secure. And oh, sitemap. Sitemaps can be really useful. Let's download this insecure file and open with text editor. Let's have a look. Okay, this one is not that useful. But sometimes you can find like some cool stuff with sitemaps. Like there'll be like hidden content or like protected content, and it'll still be in the sitemap. And some people will use like a slash and then like a UUID to try and protect something, which is like, you know, maybe they're like share and then only people with the link can access it and it's a unique link. And then unless the link is leaked, you wouldn't be able to find the content, but then sometimes the sitemap leaks it. So this is something that's worth looking at whenever you kind of find it. So we've got that, we've got images. Let's just have a quick look in this last one. Otherwise, we'll have a look for, okay, we have stuff in here in includes. So there's cache, Burp Suite doesn't like this page. Cache.db, let's have a look at this. I'm gonna have to come into the terminal. Let's come into downloads, micro cache.db. Oh, okay. Looks like there's something in there. These look like MD5 hashes, which could be useful. But it looks like DB array and then there's a hash. So that could just be like the hash of like whatever it is. I don't really know how DB caches work, so that might be an interesting thing to look into. HT access, we write on, that's not very exciting. MySQL backup, there's a file here. Let's try and micro again. Keep the file. There we go. How big is this file? Not too big. Is there any useful data in here? Let me actually cats and then let's grep. So that looks like a hash. And then maybe this is the admin or the manager hash. And you can see that this is serialized data. So this is like string 6, and then this is 6 characters, and then we've got string 32, and this is like MD5 because MD5s usually looks like this, and it's 32 characters. So you can see this is like serialized data. And then we've got, so the description is string 11. So yeah, let's just see whether we can use this and log in. So let me come into Firefox quickly. Let's just see whether we can crack this hash. While we're doing that, let's answer some more questions. Any new ones coming in? Let's take a look. Oh, JavaScript deobfuscation. Yeah, I cover this in like the expert web hacking course that I published. So there's like a couple of different approaches. So the first one is like the easy approach. Just try a bunch of deobfuscators and see whether that works. But I would say like a few steps. So one, debugging in real time is really, really helpful, because what you can do is usually in Chrome, because Chrome has better dev tools for debugging JavaScript, in my opinion. You can set like breakpoints. So try and deobfuscate it, get it into somewhat of some kind of format that's slightly easier to read, and the variable names are all still going to be random and stuff. But get it into a good state, and then set breakpoints, and then like monitor variables as you step through and try and understand the code. So that's like the quickest rundown of like an approach that I can give you. I would also say like basic obfuscation. AI is pretty good at understanding if it's just like substitutions for like variable names and some like data and a bit of XOR or something like this. AI is pretty good at understanding that and giving you some feedback. But what I'd say is do it in small chunks at a time and be like, here's a function. Try and figure out what that function does, and then start to piece it together, if that makes sense. I think that's the best way to do it. All right. Oh, capital P, password 123. That's the password. Wonderful. So hopefully this is the password. Let's try admin. Let's try manager. And we're in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's pretty nice, I think. Just from looking around, we found this MySQL backup. And then, we've also got the version 1.5.1. So we could maybe look for exploits within the target. But let's keep looking around and see whether we can do it manually first. And that gives us access, which is quite cool. So let me close this and then, come back to here. Lazy admin's website system information. So let's see, what have we got here? We've got language, URL rewrite, web status running or close. So we could switch it on. Maybe that's why when we come to, is it /content? Yeah, we got, this site is building now, please wait. So maybe if we switch it to running, but I don't want to try that just yet because we might break something. Posts, comments, attachments. I wonder if it's like WordPress where I can set like a theme and then inject some PHP into the theme. Permalinks. Whoa, Burpsuite didn't like that. Plugin list. Yeah, looks like we might be able to upload a malicious plugin. So this is definitely something that we want to take a look at. Ads. You can edit ads as code and put it into a template, or you can edit the template here. So that could be a way in. I think maybe we can just, oh yeah, ads as ads code. We can probably just inject straight into here. Sitemap, theme, updates, data, etc. Oh, SQL execute. We might be able to get code execution through through SQL as well. I think it's kind of unlikely, but you know, who knows? Depends on the permissions and if it's because MySQL we can use like the system exec function maybe if it's an old version of MySQL. But I think let's try this since it just says we can do code. So let's do like system, and we'll just do who am I like this, and we'll call it RCE. Done. What does this do? How does this work? Oh, is there only JavaScripts that we can use? That wouldn't be so good if it's only JS. How do we actually use this though? Let's go to posts, create, RCE please, RCE please. RCE, please. And then let's just do test. And then can I add an ad? That's the question. So let's just do test, test, test. Publish. Attachment. Maybe we can add a file here. There's so much to look at, actually. So how do I preview this? So that's modify. Maybe we need to turn the site on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, permalink. Oh no, that's just the. Oh look! Every time we click, like the counter comes up. That's like, you can just pretend that your site's really, really popular just by clicking the link lots and lots of times. Nice. Okay, so that's something. And let's go back to here and see whether we can add this to a page. So what do I do with this? Or maybe it's in the comments. I'm sure I've seen something with this before. I have done this box at some point in the past. So I think this is the way, but I can't really remember. So I'm just going to stumble around until I find it. User comments off. Whoops. We don't want categories. Okay. Well, what should we do? Should we have a look for CVs? I think that would be the easy way. Or we could just carry on testing. Ooh, what was that? Something just like floated across the screen. Can we edit the theme? Okay, let's see whether we can do this. So theme list. Ooh. We could probably maybe find a malicious theme and update that. All right, let's I've had enough fun. I don't have such exploit on here. That's fine. We can just come to Firefox. Oh, actually, before we search for CVs, I wonder if, so when we were here, I thought this was as ads, not as. I wonder if it's actually in the ink here. Is it added? No. Oh yeah, here we go. I did my thing wrong. Okay, I think we can get RC here. So if we edit this and actually write some proper PHP with the proper opening tag, some versions of PHP will actually execute like this. But let's do the super global $_gets, and let's just do CMD and then save this. And then let's see if CMD. Yeah, okay, we have our C. There we go. So that was pretty straightforward. We just kind of had to look around, like, just to find it. Let's see, ls/home. Whoops. IT guy. user.txt. Let's see whether we can cat the flag. Yeah, we can get the flag doing this. So that's pretty nice. All right. Let's see. Just checking back in with the chat, so we're all good. Oh, can I reduce the size of the chat on screen? I can't, unfortunately, because I had to change my setup because my old setup broke. And hello, kitten. Unfortunately, I'm only set up for this like size. So if I just remove the chat, it just does this. So sorry about that, everyone. I will get it fixed soon, for sure. It's just I've been like super busy with other stuff, so we're stuck to this this size for the time being. Yeah, the cat wants feeding, but it's not her feeding time. So sorry, Pops. You're just gonna have to carry on being annoying for a little bit, and I'll feed you a bit later. All right, so how do we go from this to a reverse shell? I mean, we've got the flag here, but let's try and get an actual shell. If we go for, let's go for the pentest monkey reverse shell PHP. And this one, this one's usually pretty good. Let's just grab the raw, copy this. And then where's my terminal gone? And then micro shell.php. In fact, we don't even need to create it. We can just come into here, paste this in, and we can get rid of all of the warning. You're going to go to jail. Let's get rid of that. Now we're no longer going to jail. And let's come back to here and not save this and grab our IP. Whoops. I really can't type today. My brain is like all over the place. That's our IP address. netcat-nlvp. Let's do 4444 just for fun. And then we need this and this. And let's do RC2 and save this. And then hopefully when we browse to it, it's actually going to hang. So yes, this is a good sign. So what's happened is it's executing our script, and hopefully we've got the reverse shell connection, and it's waiting for this connection to finish before it sends the response. But in this case, we don't want it to finish. We just want to enjoy our shell. So let's do which Python 3? Yeah, we've got Python 3. So Python 3-c import pty dot spawn bin bash, upgrade our shell, and then we can cd to home, cd it guy. Okay, there's the flag. All right, so we're good. And then we can have a look at our privesk. So before we dive into privesk, let me see whether we have any other questions coming through. Oh, sound is off in X. Well, if the sound's off in X, I mean, just go to YouTube. It's probably a better viewing experience. I don't know. I don't really use Twitter all that often, so sorry, I'm not really set up for it. Oh, interesting. So lots of bug bounty questions today, which is cool. Do you think bug bounty as a full-time source of income will be less feasible in the future? No, I don't think so. I just think that bug bounty, as with anything, will change over time. So the approach will change. technology will change, the things you look for will change, and the way you look for things will change. And I think if you just try and stay still, that'll be that means you get left behind. But I think if you try and, you don't have to be like week to week keeping up with every new thing. But I think like, especially if you're in a field like cybersecurity or like, especially for web, where web apps move quite quickly, the technology of web apps move quite quickly. I think like network pen testing doesn't change as quickly as web app pen testing does, but you do kind of like need to keep up, right? You need to understand what's happening, what the new latest and greatest things are, especially like front end development, like is breakneck speed, like new versions of React coming out, different frameworks happening. Some of the back end is still the same, but like you've got a variety in technology, you got like GraphQL and stuff, and then you've got loads of different systems that are all interconnected, and some of them are microservices, and like there's a lot to keep up with. But yeah, I think bug bounty will just change, and hopefully it'll become part of like the normal process. To me, in like a perfect world, safe harbor would apply to everything. Like by law, if you put something on the internet, then somebody should be able to responsibly disclose stuff to you, and then they should be paid for it. That's kind of like my opinion of how things should be, but we'll probably never reach that point. But bug bounty platforms exist to do that. So ephemeral bugs, the bugs that appear between your yearly pen test, somebody's going to find them, and let's hope it's a bug bounty hunter and not somebody else. So all good. Let's see if we can do the priv-esc. So what's the magic? I'm going to throw this one out to the chat. What's the magic command that if we get it, gives us anything we want, especially when you're talking about priv-esc? So I'll give you all a minute or so to think about how to get anything you want. And the answer is not risk accepted, which is the old cybersecurity joke on how to get anything you want. While we're waiting, so just a heads up, we are running live AD courses. There are still some seats left. A bunch have gone already, but there's a discount code which will be alive for like the next 11 hours and 12 minutes. So if you want to check out the AD live, you can take a look. What is the question? Yeah, how to get anything you want. Yeah, I'd like John Doe got it first, I think. This is kind of like part of the answer. Sue is definitely it. Sudo is also definitely it, but then Wyatt, you're definitely on this. I'm pretty sure sudo-l is going to be, yeah, look at that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sudo check out my cats. Yeah, that's it. I feel like I should just start a YouTube channel with my cats, and then I can retire and then they can just do all the work, just live stream cats all day. I have seen that actually on Twitch. There's a Turtles and Chill. So it's like a music channel, but then it's got like some video of like some turtles and stuff, and they're just relaxing all the time. So that's a pretty nice one. All right, so we've got sudo or no password user bin perl /home IT guy backup.pl. So let's check out this file first. So looks like we can read this file, but we can't edit it. And user bin perl system sh etc copy.sh. Okay, so what are we going to have to do here? Can we copy? Can we just overwrite etc copy.sh? Yeah, look at that. So copy.sh, which is being accessed by backup.pl, we can't change this because the permissions on backup.pl is read write by root, read by the root group, and then read and execute by everybody else. So we can execute it, but we can't write to it. But it's actually doing system sh and then etc copy.sh. And in here, we have read write by root, and then we've got read by the group roots, but then we've got read write execute by everybody else. So we can actually put a shell in here. So what's the best way to do this? Let's try and echo something like chmod plus s to bin bash. And currently, actually, let's see if we cat etc copy.sh first. Oh, this just does like, that looks like a reverse shell anyway, back to 5554. So maybe we can just change this to our IP address, and then we can just use the same reverse shell. Hold on. What's my IP address again? I'm in the wrong terminal. Here we go. IPA netcat-nlvp 4444. In fact, let's keep it simple. Let's use the same ports as what it was trying to use. 5554. Like this. And then we grab this. I was just going to overwrite it and be like, let's add the suid bit to bin bash, but what do I want to do here? Let's do micro test. Let's do it in here. Grab this, drop this in here, grab this whole thing, and then echo. There's no quotes in it, to etc copy.sh like this, and then sudo -l. If this doesn't work, I'll just go back to the suid bit rather than trying to pop a reverse shell, and then we just upgrade our shell. We've got this running, and we can just copy this sudo, come to here, and we are roots. Nice. And then if we cd/roots, we can cat roots.txt. And there we go. We solved the machine. Oh, the magic word is not please. The magic word is always sudo. So I can't, somebody was asking earlier, they were saying they had some questions for you, Andrew, but I said you'd be streaming next week. So maybe they can save them till then, but all good. All right. And I think that is today's box out of the way. Look at this cat. She's just like trying to steal the show, aren't you, Pops? Let me switch back to here, and then you're just going to see tails going across the the screen. But all good. All right, so let me answer a couple more questions before we finish up today. That's a pretty nice box, to be honest. I'm glad we found the path without looking at like known CVEs and stuff. So if you find a random web app, and let's say it's like on GitHub and it's got a couple of contributors, but it isn't like really widely used, and you want to practice your CVE finding skills, then you're probably going to find something good, especially if it's like, you know, if it's being maintained but not being maintained by lots of people, or if it's not like being used in thousands and thousands of places. This is a way that you can start building up your methodology, getting some confidence, and also seeing like some results. Because if you just try and attack something that's, you know, been very well tested and is very widely used, you might find something for sure. And that's kind of like the ultimate goal, of course. But it's nice to see like progress and see what works and what doesn't work. And that's kind of how you build your confidence over time, rather than just diving into the deep end. I do see people posting on LinkedIn. They're like, yeah, CVs is just a number, blah, blah, blah. Not all CVs are the same. Just don't worry about other people's opinions. Do what's right for you and build your skills. And then, eventually you'll find something that is wildly impactful. And maybe you're already halfway there. Maybe you're most of the way there. Maybe you're just starting out. Doesn't matter. I do what is important to you. All right, let's answer 2 more questions. What do I use as a base system? So my day-to-day is just a Windows box. And to be honest, it kind of runs everything I need. And for web app pen testing, you don't need anything special, really. But I do a lot of my dev work on Ubuntu, just because it plays nicer with Docker and some of the other tools that I use. So yeah, that's kind of my general approach. I have thought about going Linux full time, but maybe that's something for the future. So we'll see. All right, last question. Let's see. Oh, interesting one. Malware analysis versus penetration testing, which is the best for job prospects? I don't know. That's a difficult question. I mean, they're both great jobs. They're also both jobs that, are going to change given new tools, given the rise of AI. Your approach and methodology is going to change for sure. I think that if you had to pick one that excites you more than the other. I think pen testing is there is still a lot of people are saying, pen testing is kind of shrinking or disappearing. I think people are trying to automate pen testing more and more, but then after a while realizing that you can't actually replace pen testers and then going back to it. I've seen this. I've seen lots of startups doing pen test as a service, AI-driven pen testing. I've seen live demos, and it's not the same as a pen test. Simple as that. That's the long and short of it. Is it a useful supplement between your yearly pen test? Yeah, could be great. Could be really, really useful. But there's still an industry for pen testing for sure. And malware analysis, I don't know a ton about malware analysis, so I would say maybe malware analysis more niche. I think so. Maybe there are slightly less jobs specifically for malware analysis than pen testing. I could be wrong. I don't really know. But Andrew will be able to give you a better answer on the malware analysis side next time. But yeah, I think just choose what you enjoy and just try and keep up with what's happening, and you'll be all goods. All right, I think that's it for today. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget AD Live training. So if you are interested, there is a discount code here going across the bottom of the screen. It's only active for another half day. So if you want to use it sooner rather than later. Attacking AD is great, and Heath is an awesome teacher. So it's definitely worth checking out. But with that, I will catch you all next time.